Hello everybody, welcome back. I want each and every single one of you, grab your keyboard, pop in GME, have a look at the stock, have a look at the price. What are we trading at, right? Right now we're sitting at about $14.80, right? Only a few hours ago, before the market even opened, I put a little video out and I was telling everybody, GME, strong buy down here between $11.50 to $12. Have a look what happened. It's double bottomed. And we've experienced over a 33% pump, right? We've broken out of the channel, and I want to show you guys where we could head. And I also want to show you two articles that I thought were pretty interesting after the this big move to the upside, right? So people are all of a sudden starting to talk about it, and I want to show you guys why did this happen, right? Why did this pump occur? You know, not only for the reasons I mentioned in the previous video, but you know, why has it, you know, followed through with this much upside, right? So the very first thing is, it could have been the video that I posted yesterday. I highly doubt that's the case, right? That is like way down the list, right? Because only, you know, a couple, you know, what was it, like 2,000-3,000 views so far on the video. I'm leading to more towards two other options here. I'm leading towards insider knowledge, right? So someone, could be the CEO, could be, you know, the management, someone from the management team, you know, one of the board members, they could have insider knowledge that the earnings call, right? I highly advise every single one, set a little alert, write it in your calendar, 6th of December, right? So on the 6th of December, the earnings call is going to come out. I do not know if it's going to be good. I do not know if it's going to be bad. I have no you know, insider knowledge whatsoever. I just come to my own conclusions in, you know, my own opinion. This is what I am personally doing, right? I was telling each and every single one of you, I was bullish, you know, for all the reasons that, you know, I essentially did a massive deep dive, you know, to why I like the stock. Now, the other reason, right? So insider knowledge, the last and third final reason could be all the people in anticipation to a good earnings report, right? So people like you and me, we are buying in hopes that the earnings report is going to be, you know, a blockbuster, right? It's going to be absolutely really good. And, you know, like in NVIDIA, how it gapped up 25%, right, on that earnings report. Now, I don't know which one of those three options are. It could be, you know, one or two of them. Could be a combination of them all. I am not sure, but I just wanted to put that out there. You know, that's how I'm coming, you know, that's what I'm thinking in my head. It could have been one of the three options. Now I want to show you the price action, right? So as you guys can see, pre-market, you can see we're currently trading about $14.90. So we are actually going to open on above, right, this channel. And I was telling you guys, this channel up here at around $14, right, I expected a 20% move. You should, if you haven't already, take some profits off the table here, right? 20% move, that is pretty good, you know, if you bought the double bottom. Now leave a little bit, you know, leave some more to ride, right? So the earnings, if you bought the exact same options that I bought the $60 strikes January 2025, right? So it's over a year out. That's what I said for each and every single one of you guys to do if you wanted to follow what I am personally doing. Now, the other reason why I told you guys to do that was because, you know, all the big games coming out, right? You've got GTA 5, and I was telling you guys about how Fortnite OG brought a lot of the, you know, old school players back, you know, and they reunited, you know, to play, and they haven't played in like 4, 5, 6 years, right? Now, where could this go, right? So I've shown you this channel. I really do think potentially we could head to the upper end of the channel. That's it's at about like $23. So anywhere, right, remember this is down sloping. So as, you know, the weeks, right, go on, it's going to be lower and lower, right? So right now, if we were to pump up today, let's say very today, so right now we're going to open at around $14.65 pre-market. If we were to pump up the, you know, this very week or next week, it's about a 53% return, right? If you bought the double bottom down here, it's, you know, like I said, about that 90% return. Now, the thing is, I would advise everybody take some more profits off of that level, right? It could, you know, have a small pullback before another leg higher, because this channel, as I mentioned before, this channel here, this is a bull flag. It is going to go way higher in the future, right? It is going to have a massive leg up, probably going to retest the all-time high. It could double top. I am not sure. We will have to look at the charts then. And, you know, I always say you want to look to the future. You do not want to look to the past, you know, because, you know, you're not going to make any money on the past, right? You always want to look to the future. What's the current price action telling you? What's the current pattern in, right? Anything behind us, it doesn't really mean anything. So I just wanted to show you guys that. Now I want to show you something else. I thought this was very, very cool. You know, it's quite funny in a way, actually, because no one was really talking about GameStop, right? No one on YouTube. Nobody was making articles, news articles, right, from all these financial, you know, like Reuters and the other one, Market Watch here. Now have a look at what they have labeled, you know, us retail holders as, right? They're saying GameStop stocks best day since January, driven by fresh wave of speculative bets. So they think we're essentially gambling. You know, a lot of people are buying call options expiring around December 8th, right? So 2 days after the company's upcoming earning report, investors have piled into options with strike prices at $20, $22, and $22.50, along with other contracts even further out of the money. For a $22.50 call to be considered in the money, the stock would need to climb at least 40%. Shares have finished Tuesday at 13.5. So I just thought this was very, very interesting. Now, the guy that actually wrote this article up, I believe his name is 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, somewhere here, right? And he works at an options at head of options at Piper Sandler, which is essentially an investment bank or hedge fund. And it's pretty funny what he had to say down here at the end. So looking, you know, he's saying it was heavily shorted, right? As I mentioned in that previous video. It's actually not 1/4, you know, we worked it out to be around, you know, one third of all shares are actually short, right? Because remember, they don't include how many shares have been registered by long-term, you know, holders, which then pull it from the market, you know, the shares float that's out there on the market, right? So these hedge funds and stuff actually can't short, though, around, you know, 76.6 million shares, right? So, you know, he's blaming it because it was, you know, heavily short interest, and it also, you know, got squeezed higher, but it's getting killed this year. So they are not believing in this rally. They think that it's just another little, you know, false hope rally before it eventually goes and makes a new lower low. I do not think that this is going to be the case. I do think this could be on the cusp, like I said, on the cusp of a major breakout from these lows. Potentially, that could have been the very, very low bottom. Remember, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take anything I say as, you know, financial advice. I'm just telling you what I am doing. You know, it's all my opinions, and, you know, you guys should each come to your own conclusions. So please do not take anyone on the internet, you know, as financial advice. I could be horribly wrong, and, you know, please come to your own you know, conclusions. If it makes logical sense, you know, then, you know, we're thinking alike, essentially. So yeah, he said it essentially got squeezed high today, but, you know, overall it's still getting killed. Now, what's it called? You know, yeah, the shares of the video game retailer are still down in 2023. They've fallen about 27%, right? So they're not, all these, you know, bankers and hedge funds, the smart money, if you will, they think that this stock's still going lower. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they're actually increasing their shorts here. So, you know, we're going to have to watch, is the short interest actually going to climb, or is it actually, you know, they're going to, you know, play a bit more conservatively and actually, you know, pull back, right? Or maybe they might even cover some of the shorts. Now, another thing that I thought here was pretty funny. Well, firstly, we'll walk through some of them, right? So the shares of the meme stock GameStop have jumped around 15% in pre-market, and it's currently the third most actively traded stock on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, they also said, you know, that it had one of its best one-day percentage gain returns in over 8 months on no clear news catalyst, right? But how can you be, you know, a bloody analyst and you can't even see what I'm seeing, right? I'm just a retail, you know, trader. I'm looking at the stock. I was just doing some, you know, fundamental research on the company. It's all there. It's on Google. I don't understand how these guys can't see what I can see, right? I'm just here with the camera, microphone, on Google. Doesn't take much work at all. And you can just see, it's like bright as day. But these guys here with their bloody multi-millions of dollars sitting in cash can't see what we can see. I would not want to have my money in there, right? And they can't see, you know, they've missed out on a 30% return in less than a day, right? It was just clear technical analysis, fundamental reasons behind it. I like this stock. I don't understand how these bloody, you know, analysts, these big bankers, they can't see what we can see. It's mind-boggling to me, right? And yeah, it's recorded its strongest intraday volume since June 13th on Tuesday. And, you know, other stocks like AMC Entertainment, it also rose 4.5% to $7 pre-market. So, to me, GME, strong buy. I still think it is going to go higher. Surely we could have a retest potentially back to this channel. So if I was to quickly, you know, draw it out. So right now we're trading right here, right? So we've pumped. Potentially we have a little retrace back down to this channel. Remember, this is another downsloping channel before finally breaking up, you know, and tagging the upper end of the bigger channel. Now, like I said, you want to take profits here on, you know, the first position. It did hit my target, that 20% move. My next move is all the way up here, 80 to 90% returns potentially if it does tag that, you know, downsloping trend line. Now, if that breaks, that is where, you know, big money is going to be made on some of these options contracts. I'm already up 100%, you know, on that options contract, as I mentioned before. $60 deep out of the money, like the deepest one you could get out of the money. 2025. As I mentioned before, you know, games like GTA 6, you know, to me, they're going to be big catalyst, you know, for why GameStop could potentially, you know, go, you know, much higher. Now, $900. That is, I kid you not, that could be on the cards. Now, the probabilities of that, you know, anything is possible, right? You know, some people are going to say it's quite slim. You know, potentially, yes, it could be, right? Because it's got a $300 billion market cap if it was to go up here. That's 100x from where it was right down here, right? It was sitting at about $3 billion. For it to go all the way up to $900, that is 100x your money, right? So that would wipe all of these hedge funds that have continued to add to their short positions over this whole, you know, downward, you know, channel, right? This whole downslope it's been in. All it's done is consolidated. This is bullish, nothing but bullish price action here. But they, for some reason, think that this is, you know, dead. You know, I'll just name some reasons, right? They think GameStop's going to die because of all online and, you know, like digital games, right? So people aren't going in store and, you know, they're downloading games digitally, you know, so they're not, you know, going in and buying the new, you know, Call of Duty or whatever. Instead, they're just, you know, putting in their credit card information and they're buying it, not in person, but they're buying it online, right? Just from their own home. And, you know, yes, that does have a valid point to it, but I also think as a kid, when I was growing up, you know, EB Games, GameStop own EB Games, so, you know, it's essentially, you know, same company. They've also brought out a lot of all their other competition. There's essentially no one else like them, right? They literally dominate the market. Now, to me, yeah, when I was growing up as a kid, I'd always go in there, right? You had your, essentially, you know, like a little rewards card, you know, the loyalty card, and, you know, you would get rewards, you know, when you would, you know, buy and sell and trade in all your stuff. You know what I mean? So I remember that as a kid very vividly, you know, growing up on the Wii, you know, Xbox, like the old Xbox, the original, was like the brick, essentially the big brick. then the Xbox 360, and now you got the Xbox One. Also played on the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and a lot of very nostalgic moments over on those platforms with friends and whatnot. And I think the retail people can just really get a hold of what it was like years ago. So I've been rambling on here. It's a bit off track, but I hope you guys can see where I'm coming from. I really do. I do like the stock down here at these levels still. To me, it is just very cheap. I do think we are going much higher in the short term, all the way up to tag this upper end of the channel, right? So potentially, like I said, we could receive some type of pullback here. Maybe, we might close the gap because we are going to get this gap fill. Potentially we come back, close the gap at around 13.5 before finally, making that move much higher. If you haven't watched the previous video, please, I highly recommend each and every one of you go watch that previous video. It was a deep dive into GameStop, why I like it, and it's pretty easy to understand. And these, all these bloody big rich fat cats can't even understand what just some small little retail holder can see. So anyway, guys, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. We're over 500 subscribers now. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you. A lot of support. I read all the comments. It was just amazing how much support was in there. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave the video here, and yeah, let's see what happens. And if it goes up higher and higher and higher, well, I'm gonna have to make another video because this was some really amazing price action very quickly. It even surprised me, to be honest. I did not expect a 30% move in just a handful of hours. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the video here. Peace.